Welcome to Feed Your Lion. I'm Dr. L.I.O.N, and I'm here to aid you in the mastery of total health, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial. So prepare to have your wellness tank filled up with this podcast. All right, guys, I got a special treat today. We are sitting in Puerto Rico. You can see the ocean in the background. So we're going to record an episode here in beautiful Puerto Rico. I'm here with my prima, which is cousin.
Yes, prima.
Yes, Sita. And she's going to tell us today about experience she had recently doing a prolonged fast. So a lot of us may do some intermittent fasting here and there, maybe skip a meal or two, but you did yours for how long, Sita?
I went 14 days water only.
Water only, guys. Like no electrolytes, no supplements, no nothing. Just water. 14 days. That's like biblical days fasting. Okay. So anyways, she's going to, so tell us, let's start with like why you decided to do this. Like how'd you hear about it? What facility, what made you want to do it?
Well, to make a long story short about the reason why I did it, I did it really because, I've been suffering a lot with mental health, and just in a sense like, depression, and just the childhood situations. And I'm 54, so all these things in my life have started to surface, come right to the top, like cream rises to the top. And I knew that I needed to deal with things in my life, even though I was functioning, doing my job, working, as a professional. I knew that I had to deal with these things that I kept really kind of, right under the first layer of skin. And as the more I started thinking about it and talking out loud about it, for me, things start to manifest. And that's how things begin for me. I start talking about it, thinking about it, and my body started talking to me and saying, you need to just stop eating. And I know probably for some people that might be like, oh my goodness, she needs some serious,
like triggering for like anorexia or something.
Yeah. And that's neither the case, anorexia or bulimia or anything of that sort. That's not the case for who I am or the reasons why I did it. So I started doing my research in ways of like looking around, poking in, into the internet and fasting, because I've done fasting before. I've done juice cleanses, 17 days. I've gone twice with just juice only and colimas and colonics at the same time, and yoga and meditation. I've been in places that do all these things at once, and I felt like I needed to go further, deeper, just to remove everything out of the way to get to where I needed to go. And as I talk and manifest out loud, one of my very good friends here, who is a yogi and a doula, a midwife.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell people what a doula is.
Doula is a midwife who helps women deliver their children naturally. But they also have medical backgrounds, and they understand. And they work with the doctors, and there are doctors here in Puerto Rico that really, really, they appreciate doulas because I think it's hard.
Yeah.
As one single doctor, and they have like 500 clients.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How do you sit up there and keep up with that one patient? Hurry up, come on, bring the baby. That kind of thing. So anyways, she put this video out of this beautiful Puerto Rican Boricua woman from Puerto Rico making a waffle out of a root, a ñame root, which is, it's like a taro root or yucca. And she blended it up and made it savory, and she put it in a waffle maker. And I'm like, who is this chick? So I looked at that and I kept looking at her page, and I realized this woman is a doctor. And then I found out this woman is not just a doctor, she's a vegan doctor, which made it even more interesting to me. And then when I looked at that, I went a little further and I saw that her and her husband have this amazing facility in Caguas, Puerto Rico called Back to the Garden PR. And everything they do and all the intentions they have in this beautiful place is all about educating and helping people find themselves and change their lives through food. And meaning when I use the word food, meaning after the fact you have fasted for so long and they have educated you in the midst of this fast. They hope and they desire the best for everyone to change their life and eat better, meditate, sleep longer, drink your water.
So how do they tell you, like, oh, you're going to do 14 days?
Well, I had a conversation with a Dr. Fry. His name is Dr. Asha Fry, and his wife's name is Joanna Fry. She said, I had to make an appointment. So I made an appointment so we could see each other over Skype. Skype. That's what we did, I think, or WhatsApp. They use all the formats. So you pay for a consultation and you fill out all this paperwork prior, and I fax it back to them or email it back to them, and he reads over all of it, and then we discuss. And he asked me specific questions. How much do you weigh? How old are you? And, and that's all written down. And he tells me the facts. And he said, well, fact is that you can actually go, Carmencita, can go without food for 134 days. I thought that was amazing. I thought to myself,
134 days.
Yeah, 130. And that's based on how much body fat I have. How much body fat is on my body, how much I weigh to the height and age of the scale of what my body is supposed to be.
What did you say to somebody and say that's just like insanity? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of times I was so open to this that my heart was pounding so hard. I was so open to this that at first I thought, this is crazy. I thought it in my head, like, this is crazy. But he was so firm on what he believes and what they do and what they practice, because this is a practice, that I just kind of surrendered. I surrendered. I just surrendered to this practice that I knew I was going to make it through, because it was super important to me that I keep my mental health and get my mental health back.
Yes.
Because, the things we do in life, and toxemia comes in many, many different forms. He gave us a course, here in Puerto Rico, they call the talks charlas. So he gave us a talk on proof of what they do or what is factual. And, I lost my train of thought. So he gave us a charla on what is factual. And I said, yeah, we all...
Charla is class.
Class, I'm sorry. Yeah, charla is class. So they give you a class on just this one specific about what we eat or toxemia. Let's put toxemia. And I said, we are what we eat, and we eat what we are. And he goes, oh, well, you'll think that now, but when I'm done with this class, you may think differently, Carmencita. And I said, okay. So he was done with the class, and in the process of the class, the basics of what he's saying, because the class was like 2 hours, is toxemia comes in every single form. It comes in human form, job form, food form, liquid form, meaning what you drink. It comes in TV form, internet, media, social media form. Toxemia is a real thing. And it can break a person. It could really take a person to a place that they have never been or never seen. And it could happen over time. Like, you can remember yourself being a child and being so happy, and then something happens to you: sexual abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, bullying, all of these things. They affect human beings, everyone differently. And as you get older, then something else happens. A parent gets divorced or someone dies, and that's sense of toxemia also. So you learn to find a way to deal with all these pains, and you may reach out and be an eater or a drinker or a drugger, and I hate to use those words like that because that's not what I mean. I'm not trying to offend anybody.
No, you're just saying they'll manifest. These traumas will manifest in a certain way.
Yeah, these traumas definitely will manifest in a certain way. And if I wish for everyone to have the opportunity to do a water fast by a medical doctor.
So I was going to get to that. So now you've decided I'm going to do this.
Yes, now I decided I'm going to do this.
So you go and you're staying at the facility. You don't do this like at home. You stayed there.
Yes.
And tell me, some of the reasons for why they have you do it like on site, and two, like what did your monitoring look like? Like what was a typical day?
Okay. So it began 7 days prior. He asked me to eat very clean, eat lots of vegetables, lots of fruit, lots of salad. Be mindful in your oil intake. Please don't take in a lot of sodium. So you will see an automatic change instantly if you are in that place that you have a lot of inflammation. So I began there. And then when you get to this facility, and it's way up in the mountains, you eat until 1 o'clock. So, and you don't realize it, as you're driving, you don't realize you're not going to have anything after you get there, but water. So once you get there at 1 o'clock, he checks me in. He informed me if this is what could happen. These are all the things that could happen. You get very lightheaded. You could get nauseous. You have stomach cramps. Mm-hmm. You could have dizziness. You could pass out. This is how you deal with these things prior. Please do not get out of the bed very fast. Roll to your side, sit up. If you are dizzy in the shower, don't take a shower, or please sit down in a chair that they have prepared in the shower for everyone. Please don't brush your teeth while you're cleansing, which I went 14 days.
Whoa, no teeth brushing.
I only brushed them 3 times, and he asked us not to use pasta. He asked us not to use toothpaste because of the nausea that it could cause, and gums recede slightly when you do not eat anything, and they're cleansing. So your tongue is cleansing, and your teeth are cleansing, and your skin is cleansing, and your gums are cleansing, and
wow,
everything is cleansing. And he explained all these things clear as can be, and then said, I would desire for you to drink 40 ounces of water, no more than 60. If you have to go over 60, you'll know, your body will tell you. You will also have a funny taste in your mouth. So I did have like this funny taste the whole time in my mouth that I felt like I could not get rid of. Mm-hmm. And I was very gassy and belchy. I was gassy. Yeah. But he explained all those things to you, why you are gassy and why you are belchy a lot. And also, so on that first day, I was pretty much by myself. And the next morning I wake up, and he comes to your room every single morning, and he takes your blood pressure, your oxygen level, your temperature. He asks how much water you've drank, how do you feel this morning, and then he says, have a wonderful day.
And that's it.
And that's it. And the wonderful day is, honestly, when people say, oh, I'm going to bring my work and I'm going to work while I'm fasting. He said, yeah, you think you're going to work, but that's probably not going to happen. Your body is in control of what's happening to you. You're here to surrender and love yourself. So when you water fast in that manner, you could only really sleep, and you can only walk so far, because it is exerting when you have no food in your body and you are your body's living off the excess fat that's fat internal, like in between your organs. For me, that was one of the most amazing miracles, that the body will eat and consume all of these bad things, the fat and the bad cells. It eats the bad cells that could cause other diseases in your body. It's so amazing.
So what were some of those physical changes you saw during this process?
Well, I could sleep better through the night. In the beginning, it was kind of hard, but as I got further on, like day 10, I was sleeping through the night. Vivid dreams. You could not literally like yell and scream. It's not because you're like, but because your body is in such a peaceful, balanced mode that you just find yourself to be at such a peaceful place. At the same time as you're working on your issues in your life, in your brain, things that we remember as children or teenagers or 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds that have happened, you really literally are working on yourself from the inside out. My face cleared up. My teeth got very, very white. My eyes are bright and white. And I became extremely conscious, and my memory cleared up. I have wonderful memories of childhood that I can remember so vividly. And the issues of my past, childhood things that happened to me, for me, I'm easy to deal with them now. Before, I would be miserable and sad about talking about these things, and then I would turn to the one thing that I loved the most, which was food, but in a bad way. And now I still love food, but I love myself more, and I know that food is fuel. And food is love and all these other beautiful things, but you can have it in a clean way. And so these are some of the things that I experienced. My toes, my fingernails cleared up. I mean, my hair just started growing longer. It's some of the side effects. They say that you may lose your hair or you may lose, things like that. But he said the few things that happen in the body are your vitamin levels all stay the same, with the exception of vitamin B and D. And D, you get direct from the sun. So they asked us to sit in the sun every day for 1 hour, direct sun for 1 hour, which was amazing. But your electrolyte levels, if you drink way too much water, you would off balance your electrolytes. That's why he asked you to drink in a certain way. And he would take your urine for like the first 4 to 5 days. And then after that, no more. He didn't have to, because he just wanted to make sure that your body was in that
right
state. So then from there, the body starts to do its healing process.
So as far as after effects, how has it affected you now that you're through the fast?
Well, you tell me, JoDell.
We've been hanging out the last couple of days in Puerto Rico. She's been having a good old time with us here.
I love you so much. My cousin loves you too, and I love the fact that you guys are married, and you guys are just so wonderful together. I feel happy. I have natural boundary lines now. I'm parenting myself. I'm very conscious of everything that I eat and drink. I'm not guilty. I don't feel guilty about eating things that are not in the realm where my doctors want me to be.
Did you have to slowly ease back in?
Yeah. Like, for example, my first meal was, first of all, I did not want to eat. I was very, very sad I had to eat.
Really?
I was super proud of myself.
Was it hard, like more hard in the beginning not to eat than at the end?
Day 8 was the day that I was reborn. The day 8 was the day that I had a lot of confrontation. Not confrontation. I had a lot of facing of my issues and my childhood issues. I had a lot of deep conversation about my mom and my parents. But on day 9, I was just like, yeah, I got this. Day 10, the doctor was like, I said, Doc, I could do this for another 10 days. He was like, really? And I said, yeah, but that silly Thanksgiving is in the way. You guys are going on vacation when I just want to be here for the next 10 days, because I felt the change and I felt absolutely peaceful and wonderful inside and out. I just felt wonderful. So my roommates, They got to eat on day 13 because they came the day after I did.
Okay.
And then my plan was 14 days. So on day 13, they felt bad that I was not eating. And as Latinas are, and I said, no, I want you to enjoy your food, buen provecho, which means bon appetit, which is the non-translational kind of in Spanish. It's just like good eats.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I sat in the living room, they sat in the dining room and they ate, and it's kind of in the same room, and they were just in love with their food, and it was wonderful. And literally when they were done, I was full.
Mm.
I kid you not, I felt full. So when the doc came in that night, and by the way, the doctor comes twice a day. He comes at night, make sure everybody's okay. And they take blood tests once.
I didn't ask you how much they even charge for this. Like, how much per night is it? Is it like per?
You can actually go to their website and
Okay.
it'll give you a breakdown and give you an example. And the website's in Spanish. So if you go through it through Google, you find it, you can go up in the corner and change it from Spanish to English.
And but the name of the facility again, in case they want to look that up.
It's called Back to the Garden PR.
Okay, the PR is in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
that's a good little retreat for somebody who's interested in doing a fast. You could come and do a week or something.
Yeah, it's amazing. The people that I've met there, the people that came there with all the different ailments that they had, everyone had a change. And they will talk about this. This is fact of cancer needs sugar to survive. Mm-hmm. And when you deprive your body of everything, the cells in your body will attack the cancer cells and eat them alive and eat them. And then and I don't know the word is when your cells waste and then
atrophy.
Yeah, no, not atrophy. When they waste their bowels, because all bacteria waste, they eat other bacteria and
excrement.
Yeah, but there's a special word for it. Anyway.
I'm failing here, guys.
Me too. So, anyways, that's how you get gassy, because your good bacteria eats the bad bacteria, because the bad bacteria needs bad food, microwave food, processed sugars, box food.
She does stick to this, because I came here and she's been making, Sita's like the most wonderful chef, and every day we've been here, she's been like cooking these feasts. But the other day I wanted to warm up something. I said, where's your microwave in this place? She said, I don't have that poison, so she sticks to this. She's serious.
I'm serious about the microwave. I don't have a microwave here. If you want something warmed up, we will warm it up for you, and it will be wonderful.
It is all wonderful.
Yeah. So the morning of I get to eat, I'm really nervous and excited all at the same time, because I really, really wanted to go way longer. So they bring my food, and it is honeydew melon. So they call it melones verde here, because it's a green. You know how the honeydew is like that greenish color on the outside? So they bring me honeydew melon and baby kale and romaine lettuce. It's the beautiful, long, beautiful stalks. And I kid you not, I dislike honeydew melon. But this water fast changes all of that mentality, because it cleanses you everything from your brain to your gut, to your first brain, to your second brain, because this is your second brain. And it just changes everything. And I saw this plate, and I kid you, it was like a bowl like this. And I thought, oh my God, I get to eat all of this. I literally had one bite of that melon and my eyes almost rolled in the back of my head. It was so juicy, so sweet, so amazing. And I love honeydew melon now.
No, love it.
It's really wonderful. And the kale tasted like butter garlic. I kid you not. The first bite. And it was just wonderful. So you can't eat it all. You really can't. Your stomach shrinks, and it's so amazing.
Yeah.
But the more I ate, the less I had. Because when I wasn't eating, I was watching videos all the time, food videos, like, how can I make this? How could I turn this into a vegan? How can I do that into a vegan? And I was just torturing myself. But the doctor said that's normal. He's like, that's normal. It's okay. That'll stop. And he was right. So after I ate, then I would watch less videos, and then I ate again at dinner time. And I watch less videos. So they don't give you acidic foods on the very first day. Like you don't get pineapple, you don't get kiwi, you don't get things like that because they will burn your skin.
Yeah.
Because your body is like, empty of that. They wait till the third day
to introduce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're amazing dark purple grapes, and they give classes. You have to pay. That's extra, but you could take a cooking class. And Dr. Fry's wife, Dr. Fry, Miss Aunt Fry,
There you go.
she does all of her cooking is all based off of science.
Right.
And they will tell you. They know, and they factual. Salt and oil are the devil. Salt and oil, salt and oil, salt and oil. And they say sugar has been demonized. And when he means by that is that sugar from fruit has been demonized. Date sugar has been demonized. Dates, all that, frozen fruit, it's been demonized. What the demon is the fructose, high fructose corn syrup. And it's because it's the way they make it, the way it's broken down and put back together is not real. The body doesn't recognize that and doesn't understand it. But it's in everything we eat.
That's with a lot of processed foods. We have a lot of things that our body isn't. That's not what it was intended to do.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. But you can still have the joy of food in an amazing, healthy way. Like, what'd you eat this morning, Jodelle?
She cooked these homemade oats, and we put all kinds of fresh fruit. We had papaya and kiwi and banana and dates and black grapes. Black grapes. It was delicious.
And what did I cook the oats in?
And coconut
milk.
Well,
coconut milk. And if I ran out, I used almond milk. And I usually make my own almond milk. But that's what we put it in.
Delicious, and it was great, and it's healthy, right?
Yes, it's because it's all high in fiber and lots of what?
Water. She's all about the water, folks.
Yeah, the water is important. If you don't drink a lot of water this way, the way you can get your water in is by eating fresh fruit and fresh vegetables.
So as we're like wrapping up this fasting session, is there anything else you would want people to know, like about fasting in particular, that you can tell?
Yeah. What I want people to know about fasting in particular, fasting is not bad. Fasting is a good thing for everyone, for all people. All you need to do is to educate yourself. Watch some videos that are representative of what true fasting is. Read a couple books. Find fasting doctors that really they understand and they know what they're talking about. A video I can give you a suggestion to watch would be the science behind water fasting. And you can find that either on Netflix or Prime.
Okay.
But that video is a documentary that shows all the science and the facts behind water fasting. And there are many facilities here in Puerto Rico that...
Well, fasting is completely old, right? I mean, that was clear back in biblical times. They talked about fasting. They did these long fasts all the time. It's a part of history. People fast for answers all the time. So that's the thing. So I found this when she was telling me about this. I thought this was fascinating because I don't personally know anybody who's done a fast water only for 14 days. So I really wanted to come on here and share that with you and her experience because she loved it. She's been raving about it the whole trip, and it's really changed how she views things and how she's living her life. So I wanted to share that in case somebody else was interested. And then, as we always do, we're going to wrap up with our quote of the day. Fasting is the first principle of medicine. Fast and see the strength of the spirit reveal itself. And that's by Rumi. Thanks for listening. We'll see you the next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.